What's up, YouTube? Uh, Today we're gonna be reacting to two true camping alone stories animated. This is second time you know take two recording this because I was taking too long to watch it. I'm on stream, so I was also taking too long to watch it. So let's get in this video. I'm restart it. I only got 1 minute and 20 seconds in it. Then I restarted the video. I kept pausing it. I was waiting for my food to get here. Whole bunch of boring stuff. Not boring stuff, but I don't know if I like YouTube video raw footage of my stream, but not that raw much footage. It was already 20. It was getting like 28 minutes of like me just pausing it, and so I just didn't want to do
I hadn't planned on
that.
going
So
out
let's
there.
get into it.
It was a Friday, work was dead, and my phone was quiet. And I didn't have anybody to answer to that weekend. I looked at my apartment, the laundry piled up in the corner, the same TV show, and I felt like I just kind of needed some air.
Damn.
I couldn't handle another night in the hamster wheel.
Fuck.
So I threw my gear in the truck.
That shit hot
Stove,
as
tent
hell.
bag, a little hatchet that I kept in the living room, a couple of tarps, cooler full of beer, and gas station grade food.
Hell yeah,
Nothing
cool for the
fancy.
beer.
I didn't really pack like a responsible adult, just kind of grabbed what I thought I would want and figured everything else would
Camping's
work
meant for
itself out.
fun.
You know, the American way. I headed out of town late afternoon, pointed the truck toward the highway. Once you're 20, 30 minutes past that last grocery store, it starts to actually feel like you're slipping off the edge of the map. By the time you're 2 hours out, the radio goes to static, and it's just tree line after tree line, cattle fences, dirt road in the sky. I kept driving. Eventually, I cut off the main road onto this older service road. It wasn't marked and there wasn't any signs, just a pair of ruts that go off through the trees.
Holy shit.
I've been down plenty of roads like that before on hunting trips and figured I'll just find a pole out and call it good. I wasn't trying to backpack 10 miles in or anything, just wanted to be where nobody else would bother me.
Facts.
But the thing is, I was not alone back there. Once I got deep enough, I started spotting these little pop-up camps tucked off the road. You know the kind. Beat up old tents, folding tables, tarps strung between trees, a smoking ring of rocks that may or may not be legal, depending on the time of the year.
See,
Weekend people. You see kids
like camping, right? So like a place like that. I know a place I've been to. They have camping, which is tents. You can like it's like you can do tents, and they have where you can put your RVs in there and connect your sewer and like that shit. I think it's like $10, $15 for like each day or night. But that's just cheap. And then you have then you have what's that fucking one word called cabins built out there, and that's what me, my mom, and my sister stayed in. And it's like actually pretty cool out there. So pretty much out there is like it's like a everybody gets their own shit. Like, you can see your neighbor, like you can see the house, like boom, boom, boom. You know, so it's not like close together. Uh, so it's like I would know where to go there. I would just go there, for camping. I wouldn't go where the fuck this dude's going because clearly I would have seen them at being at tents or beat up tents and we're like, yep, I'm. It's not that I'm scared. Well, not that I'm scared. I also would have had a. Also, if I'm going out camping, I'm also carrying a alarm on. Alarm, little pow type shit. You feel me? So
on bikes, somebody's dog trotting along off the leash, a guy sitting in a lawn chair drinking beer like he's at a tailgating party. And one of those guys flagged me down. He was older, late 60s, maybe 70s, real sunburned face, what my father called a tackle box skin. Long gray hair, stepped out almost right in front of my truck and lifted up his hand. So I
swerve.
slowed and rolled the window
I just
down.
swerve.
Evening, he said, grinning at me. You're getting out of here at the perfect time. Yeah, is that right? I said. He leaned in a little closer. Sitting there in my truck, I'll admit it was very weird. You're all clearing out, he said. You want quiet? I'll give you a spot that nobody bothers you. I don't know why I listened to him. Maybe it was his confidence or
Are you
something.
fucking for real? If he parked the spot this dude gave him, that this dude gave him, you fucking retarded. Whoa, whoa.
I don't know why I
I'm gonna get
listened to him.
demonetized
Maybe
on
it was his
YouTube.
confidence or Something else I don't
But
know.
that's basically what you are.
Look, keep
If
on this road,
you take
the
advice
old
from this
timer
dude.
said. You'll see this cattle gate on the left. It's not locked, just chained. Go through. After that, it gets a little tight, but don't stop. You'll come to a pond. The east side's firm, the west side's soft. Camp on the east side. Nobody'll see you. Then he winked at me. Perfect weekend to be alone. I
Like that,
thanked
you
him,
definitely
patted
don't
my
park
driver's door,
there.
and rolled on. The gate was in fact right where he said it was. Rusted, chain looped, but not locked. I unhooked it and drove through and latched it behind me. The trail narrowed to 2 dusty ruts under branches that scraped the sides of my truck. The further I went in, the quieter it seemed to get. No wind, not even birds. Then I saw a small pond reflecting in the trees, dead snags leaning across the water.
Domino's, what you doing, bro? Usually got macaroni bussin'. Like it's bussin', but it's just like, damn, what y'all doing, bro? I'm just doing this believe he's taking advice from this dude.
And beside it was a flat little clearing that looked like it was
It's
made
telling
for
and
one
literally
to take.
saying where he's like,
Somebody had
bro.
definitely camped there before.
You
Stones in a
saying?
ring, black with old ash, a few logs dragged into place, hidden off from the road, invisible unless you knew where you were looking. I only glimpsed a flash of it, to be honest. So I parked, hauled in my gear, and set up my camp. There was a nice 20-foot gap between the truck and my tent, as this little
20
gorge kept me from
foot.
driving in completely. It felt perfect, the kind of quiet that made me want to get drunk by myself. I didn't really waste any time. Got a fire going before dark, cracked open a beer, and cooked my dinner: hot dogs, chili, and a bag of chips. I hung my Bluetooth speaker from a tree branch,
Hell yeah.
played an old podcast, some bag of chips.
Hell yeah.
Cracked open a beer and cooked my dinner: hot dogs, chili, and a bag of chips.
Hot
I
dog,
hung my
chili, and a
Bluetooth
bag
speaker
of
from a tree
chips.
branch, played an
Hell
old
yeah.
podcast, some kind of true crime show that I downloaded before. The voices sounded oddly
True
comforting
crime,
out there
word,
too,
word, word.
and I told myself I'm only gonna have a couple more beers before bed, but time slips when you're the only one awake for miles.
First of all, if I'm
Shore Beauty
camping,
helped launch my barbering journey. They're helping me get job ready for the real world.
Shore Beauty School proves that practice does make perfect. They
bro,
give you the
I don't want
confidence
to, like,
Use tools of your trade at Shore Beauty School.
Enroll now at Shore Beauty School.
like, I'm drinking beer while I'm out there, but I'm not getting fucked up.
By full dark, the fire had burned tall and hot, throwing light high up into the trees. I could see my breath in the cool air, hear the crackle of the logs, and sometimes other noises too.
Hell yeah.
A shuffle, I thought, off in the brush. A snap behind the tent. A faint splash from the pond. Nothing close enough to see, but close enough to notice it. It's the wildlife, I told myself, because it always is, right?
Nope.
I listened to the speaker get louder, laughed at the hosts, and drank one more beer, then another. Around 11, I stumbled into my tent and crashed. Didn't even bother killing the fire or turning off the podcast. Didn't even take off my hood and crashed. Didn't even bother killing the fire or turning off the podcast. Didn't even take off my hoodie. I was asleep in seconds. I awoke, however, to pressure on my sleeping bag. It took me a second to understand that it wasn't just me. Something warm was pressing up against me. Heavy, slow moving, breathing. My first thought was a deer, then a human. I froze. I was still drunk, but I knew something
Oh, I'd be
was
like,
wrong.
Daddy, no. That
The
motherfucker.
air smelled awful. Wet rot, mildew, decay.
I would have had my pee on me.
I tried to
Probably wrong.
listen, tried not to move, but my pulse was hammering so loud it kind of drowned everything else out. Whoever it was, they were lying right up against my side, thigh to thigh. I could feel every inhale. I didn't really think, I just kind of rolled hard and yanked the zipper, dove out barefoot into the dirt, and sailed right through the tent flap. The fire was embers now. My flashlight beam jerked across the tree line.
I
to
would
the
have made
tent
sure I had my
back.
keys in my
No
pocket.
one followed me out. No sound at all except for my own ragged breathing. Okay, I guess maybe I dreamed it. I was drunk, so I passed out and just imagined the whole thing, but holy shit, it was terrifying. Then I took note of something moving behind the light. A soft step in the dry needles. I froze again. I heard another step and then nothing. I checked the immediate area with my flashlight and found nothing, so I quickly decided it was time to go back to bed. I knew I tied on a pretty good one, drank far more
You left
than
your tent
usual,
open.
fell asleep
Word.
with my tent unzipped. I figured a skunk or a raccoon had found its way in. following the scent of chili and Fritos onto my hands and breath. It made sense in my late night drunken stupor. When morning finally broke, the world looked normal again. The birds, the sunlight, the calm pond. I laughed to myself. It really must have been a nightmare. And I went to relight the fire for breakfast and froze. My speaker was now sitting on the table instead of hanging up in the tree. My firewood was now stacked in this strange pattern, sticks laid out in this weird formation like somebody else had been arranging them. In fact, everything was moved around to some degree.
It's homeboy Larry. Fuck what you mean? You took a fight. You
In the
say
tree
what I
line,
told you to say.
I saw him. He stood there motionless, watching me. At first, I thought it was the same man from the road that had told me about this very spot. Same age maybe, but this one looked a lot more feral. His beard was long and matted. His hair was a filthy nest.
Hell
His clothes
no.
were nothing but tied strips of garbage bags and torn rags. His eyes looked vacant, dead gray, and he looked like he hadn't spoken to another person in years. Hey!
Hey!
He didn't even blink. Sir, are you okay out there? Still nothing. He stepped forward, one jerky movement at a time, arms twitching at his sides.
Oh,
Took a
like
step back.
bam, bam,
He continued to
bam.
come
What?
closer.
Bam, bam. What? Bam, bam. Nigga,
And
what?
I felt like I was watching some kind of zombie from a
That's what
movie.
I would have took stance in a fighting
All
stance.
right,
Wasn't
that's
running.
close enough. Just stop right there. I shouted. I still didn't get any kind of reaction.
He ain't
though.
worried about you. I'm
I
walk straight
quickly
by you.
snatched up the hatchet from the
There
stick.
you go. Yeah.
All right, you come any closer, and I swear to God.
Hell yeah. You
Still
tell him.
nothing. Just that blank stare as he continued to march straight for me. In that moment, I realized I might actually have to
He
kill
just
this
wants a
guy.
fist bump.
I ran to the truck.
You might have to kill him.
I realized I might actually have to kill this guy.
All that time of him walking over to you, your thought was to kill him instead of, oh, let me just go to my car. Let me just start my car and go. Broom, broom. Fuck.
I ran to the truck and grabbed my pistol from the glove box. Fired.
There you go. So this, I said it. I fucking said it. I'm not sure if I fucking said it in this video or was the video before I made the first one. Take one for this. But I said it. I'm not going out campus. I got a gun on me. Look at it. There you go. That gun wouldn't have been in my glove box. It would have been with me, my boy. Everywhere I go, it's going with me while I'm camping.
one round into the dirt, and the shot echoed off all the trees.
Keep going.
And
Keep
that
going to you, huh?
got him to stop.
No?
He flinched and then spat into the dirt, then turned his back to me and stood there. Stood still, held frozen solid, just facing away like he was waiting for something to happen. I kept the gun on him for what felt like forever. The guy still wasn't moving, not even swaying. That's when I realized there were footprints in the dirt between us. My campsite was now covered in them. Bare feet, long strides, toes dug deep into the dust.
Oh, I left everything
He'd
there
been
and dipped.
walking around and through my campsite for a while, maybe even all night.
Oh, I left
This
everything
time
there
I
and
didn't wait
dipped.
for him to move again. I kept my gun trained while I backed away toward the camp, tossing my gear into the truck one piece at a time. Tent, cooler, sleeping bag. The whole time he stayed right there at the tree line, back to me. When I went to go grab my pack from the tent, a smell hit me again, that damp chemical human smell. The inside was telling. My blanket pushed aside, sleeping bag twisted, dirt smeared across the floor like something had crawled in it. The clothing and fabric on the tent floor was covered in dark stains, clearly human-shaped, and there was handprints on the side
Oh, what
of
is
my
that?
sleeping
Everything
bag.
there. There
I
we
knew
go.
he
This
threw
is
up
what
at
I
the
was
site.
looking for.
That's what
There
I
we
felt
go.
last night. This psycho crawled into my tent and spooned me.
Wait,
What I felt last night. This psycho crawled into my tent and spooned me. I
how?
slammed the tailgate shut and got behind the wheel. The old man still hadn't moved.
My
I started the
question
engine.
is, when you got up in the middle of the night, how did you see them footsteps? I get it was dark, but like, if you can smell that smell, and when you got up in the morning, when you walked out the tent,
Half expecting him to turn around, but he didn't. Stayed there, motionless, that tangle of black plastic.
I just want
rustling
to
in the morning
cuddle.
breeze. As I drove off, I caught one last look in the mirror. He was crouching now, really low to the ground, picking through the dirt where I'd been standing. I couldn't even see what he was doing, gathering up things maybe, small bits that I'd left behind.
Oh, he got a
But it
crush
looked
on
very,
you.
very
Oh, bless
important
the
to him
fish.
for some reason.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want.
Yo, chat.
You can have really relaxed.
When I reached the main road, I chained the gate behind me and didn't even look.
I got 2 mac and cheese. 2 mac and cheese. This has chicken on it. I'm not complaining because I just ate a piece and it's busting. I thought it was a fry. Like I thought it was a noodle covered in cheese. There was no. It's a piece of chicken. I ain't complaining.
Back. A ranger told me that there were all kinds of bizarre reports from out there. The land had been part of some kind of condemned federal property. Old mine shafts, chemical dumpings, toxic runoffs. Nobody should have been out there at all.
Fuck.
He said the locals call it the basin. He also
Fuck. 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 That is kind of like it being a bed back. Yo, man, Jenny was gone. Whatever the fuck that's a piece of chicken. He didn't give me a napkin.
told me a few people still lived out there, if you call it that. And charming that I got to meet one of them.
Well, I know what one ingredient is in Domino's
By
mac and
August, the
cheese.
Loveld had gone pretty silent.
Milk.
The grass
That
was
must be-
brittle and the air was full of dust, and the water holes had shrunk into muddy pits ringed with bone. And the air was full of dust. The Loveld had gone that I got to meet one of them.
You got the spoon with one of them. You fucking lucky. I'm hella jealous.
By August, the Loveld had gone pretty silent. The grass was brittle and the air was full of dust, and the water holes had shrunk into muddy pits ringed with bones. This was the season when everything starved. Hyenas were thin, giraffes would stick to the deep plains. Even the vultures stayed grounded, conserving what little they had left.
Damn.
I'd been guiding safaris for more than a decade now, but I've never seen the bush this desperate. Predators had started turning on livestock, and the villagers were really scared. 2 weeks ago, a herdsman was taken near the riverbed. The radio chatter was constant. Missing goats, missing dogs, missing people. The prides were moving closer to the roads, shadowing vehicles, pacing the horizons. They are notoriously lazy hunters, so when things get hard, they'll kill pretty much anything they can find. It's a harsh reality of being in the desert. That morning, my partner Rory and I had drove out ahead of the client tour, scouting the route toward the dry pans. We didn't speak much. A few miles out, we saw them again. 9 lions, strung along the ridge, not resting in the grass like they should have been, but following along. They'd been doing it for days now. Unsettling, but nothing we hadn't seen before. They're tracking us, Rory said, glassing up the slope.
Well,
I nodded. They're tracking something, but it might not be us. We reached the camp by sunset. No clients tonight. No
Fuck,
other
I
guided
energy and
camps,
then
just
change my
us
shirt.
and whatever lurked beyond the firelight. The air dropped fast, hitting the mid-40s by midnight. Somewhere far off, a lion roared, and another answered from the opposite direction. I told Rory to keep his rifle near and his bladder in check.
hell yeah,
He needed
Rory.
Goofy accidents. The tracks that we'd seen at dusk were very fresh. A big male's paw prints led straight toward camp before veering off into the scrub. They were here.
I'll be ready,
They
Rory.
didn't care who knew. That night before turning in, I remember saying, if they're out there, they'll keep to the high grounds. Boy, was I wrong. I woke to pressure on my spine, hot, rhythmic, alive. Not weight like a person, but mass, breathing, and I froze. The canvas behind me had flexed.
Where's
with each
Roy
exhale.
with his
Heat
with the
radiating into my
Glocky?
thermal. Something rumbled through the fabric, deep and steady, like a Mac engine. It took a second to understand what in fact I was feeling. Then my blood turned to ice. There was a lion laying against my tent. I could even feel the purr vibrating through my ribs.
Where's the gun at?
The air was smelling some kind of awful.
I would have popped
musky
that
and
bitch
sweet
straight
and
through the
coppery,
tent,
like
boy.
meat left in the sun. I didn't dare move. Eli, Rory whispered from his tent,
That's
voice
my
cracked
boat,
and
man.
shaking. You awake? I wanted to kill him for speaking, and for a moment, I felt its claw extend from the pad and into my back and hips. At that moment, I felt like a bit of food at the end of a fork. The lion's breathing then hitched and the weight shifted. The canvas groaned as it rose up, brushing my back
Bro.
and towering.
I would.
The tent poles creaked, dirt popping beneath the stakes. I didn't need to see it to know. He was standing right there, paws level with my head, only a thin sheet of fabric between us now. My entire body tensed into a knot. My rifle sat 3 feet away. Might as well have been across the continent. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. There were others out there. The lion sniffed, long wet inhalations that pulled air straight out of the tent. His breath rolled through the seams, hot and rank. Then came the scrape of claws, 5 faint curls across the ground just beyond my hip. It was marking. I heard the sound of teeth grinding, this low groan. Rory,
I would have grabbed the
I
rifle.
whispered. Almost no sound at all. I don't really know what compelled me to speak.
You want the same
Subconsciously,
set?
I think I
Oh,
was
no.
trying to speak my final words, maybe. Help me. Ask and you shall receive. His tent zipper began to descend, and a lion's growl flattened everything outside. Everything went primal after that. Snarls erupted between us, different pitches overlapping. The pride was answering the male. I heard one sprint past my tent, heavy paws tail whipping the canvas. Another hit something metal with a clang. In the morning, we'd see it was the truck. Rory screamed, but it cut off after a second. Realized just how fatal the situation was. Any amount of attention could
I would
be
have
death.
dipped that night.
My heart pounded so hard that it shook my teeth. I could feel the ground vibrating with their movement.
At Enchanting Travels, we carefully orchestrate every detail.
can't believe I
of
got
your
my
custom
shirt dirty.
journey
I gotta
to ensure
rewash
you
clothes
savor
again.
each moment.
One lion roared close enough that it brought tears to my eyes. The sound wasn't volume, it was pressure. My eardrums flexed before it. The tent even seemed to breathe with it, bowing in and then out. It really felt like a movie. Everything told me that I was about to die. Another lion came by, female by the lighter steps, charged through the far side of the camp. I heard her slam against the cooler, the lid popping open, tin cans and plastic scattering around. Then this screeching tear as the claws raked the bin around the campsite. Rory made the mistake of flicking on his headlamp. The beam cut through the wall of my tent, bright white and trembling, and in that slice of light, I saw its shadow, the male's head. It was massive and round, the muzzle pushing the canvas inward. Every whisker impression was visible. His jaws were open, and I saw the silhouette of his teeth now cutting across the fabric, inches from my face. I swear you could see steam rising up from where his breath hit. I stopped breathing entirely. My chest ached in this bad way, eyes still watering. My heartbeat now became the only thing I could hear. He huffed again, this deep, irritated gust that flapped open the canvas against my cheek. Then, out in the dark, a lioness gave this short, sharp grunt,
Lioness.
and they all sprang into motion. The male snarled annoyed, tail thudding the ground, then stepped back. The heat peeled away from the tent wall and the outline then vanished. He turned his body, brushing up against the entire length of the canvas as he passed it, his mane rasping like sandpaper. I heard the thud of each paw as he walked towards Rory's tent. "Don't move, man," I whispered. His light went dark, and the only sound the lions were making now was them pacing around us, breathing and tails whipping up against the dust. At least 4 of them, maybe more. The male then froze again, and he made this sound, a deep, chesty snort, and the others went quiet instantly. I pictured them all crouched, eyes reflecting the
Ghost's
starlight,
hose.
paws kneading through my skin, teeth, claws, my blood soaking into the sand. As soon as it started, they just kind of moved off. It wasn't in a panic, just this sudden burst of controlled energy. After a few seconds, we couldn't even hear them anymore. The silence they left behind was worse than the noise. My whole body was now soaked in sweat, freezing against the night. What the hell just happened? After a long time, I heard Rory whisper to me, "You alive?"
I would have dipped.
"Yeah," I croaked. "You?" "I think so." We stayed awake until the sky started to lighten up, rifles in reach, listening for a return that never came. By sunrise, the camp looked like it had survived some kind of storm.
No, I ain't
The
gonna be
fire
there.
pit was
Sit.
scattered
I
with
ain't gonna
paw
be
prints
sitting ducks
lapping in
there.
every
Fuck what
single
you mean?
direction. The cooler lay tipped on its side, lid
Yeah, do that real quick. I'm changing my shirt. Oh fuck with the lighting. You can see everything, huh? There's some good lighting. My bitch cheating. No, no, that's cheating. Did you imagine? I don't even got a girlfriend. But seriously, I don't even know who Tank Top this is. I don't even know who it is. This Tank Top this is. So it's probably one of those I put in my drawer way long time ago and forgot it was in there. Oh, I haven't been to black tank top in a minute. Or a black shirt in a minute, bro. Then fucking my earnings scratched my throat. Fuck, no Diddy.
torn off, edges shredded. My tent sagged from where that lion had leaned on it, canvas slick with dew and greasy film of some kind. I stepped outside and felt the cold air hit my face. It was quite sobering. The horizon glowed pale and gold. It felt like a victory. Rory then came out after me, eyes hollow. Neither of us spoke. The prints were everywhere, some bigger than dinner plates, deep enough to hold shadows. You could see where the male had roamed, where the ladies had prowled, and where another had been pacing Rory's tent. It wasn't a visit, it was some kind of inspection. They could have easily taken us, he muttered. I nodded, no need for another comment. The radio crackled in the dirt below the table, crate, hissing static. I turned the dial with numb fingers until a voice cut through, urgent and breathless, full of noise.
Repeat, 1 confirmed fatality in Sekwan village. Male adult, attacked during the night.
Rory and I locked eyes. The radio kept talking.
Livestock pen destroyed, 2 goats taken. Tracks indicate a pride, at least 6 strong, moving southwest.
Southwest, away from us. I lowered the radio, the bush went quiet again, but it felt more alive, like anything could step out of that high grass. They were hunting, Rory said to me. Consider yourself lucky.
Roy fucked
He
up over
frowned,
here.
nodding.
This nigga scar for life.
I looked out across the open plain, and from where we stood, you could see the ridgeline, faint tracks etching into the dust. On the other side was a
I think you should take Rory's white rifle away from him. Seriously.
town where a man had now died, a place where we took our savaris for supplies on a regular basis. For whatever reason that night, the lions didn't kill us, and I accepted that without question. What else could I really do? The plains are super unforgiving out here. Survival is moving on from victories, because almost all of them are temporary.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm gonna fucking get demonetized for that shit. Man, that's some bullshit.
I'm an old woman now.
What the fuck up? Alrighty, YouTube. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. Give me this video a thumbs up. And this is OJ out.